Hey everybody, welcome back to Pandemic Gaga's Bible Study, the study of Revelation, and we're starting in chapter 8 today. Um, I wonder if you have been thinking about the silence of heaven. The silence of heaven. What do you think? What do you think was the thoughts? Was it because they saw what was written in the scroll? And if they did, I wonder what it was that they saw. Did they see the plans of God's wrath for the end of time in written form? Were they spellbound by it? Did they see names written down of those that would be brought into the kingdom during the tribulation, that were yet to be brought into the kingdom? Did they see the name of the last person who would ever be saved? There will be a last person. What did they see? We don't know. We don't know. Not at this point. We don't know. But it was a very important scroll. We know that. It was important enough for the Lord to have John write down the fact that there was a scroll and the seals. One day maybe we'll know. I don't know. I just wonder what you thought. Wonder what you think. I'm just curious. There's no right answer, wrong answer. I guess there's a right answer. We just don't know what it is. So your answer is as good as anybody else's, and mine is just, well, probably worse than anybody else's. I don't know. But what a eventful moment when absolutely nothing happened, to the point that there was no sound for 30 minutes. Wow. Did they see another level of God's holiness? I don't know. I don't know. But what I do know is that after this 30 minutes or so, there were 7 angels standing in front of God in the throne room. What a powerful place that is. And those 7 angels were given 7 trumpets. Each one was given a trumpet. And they still stood there. You know what that tells us? God's still in control. God's still in control. God is sovereign. He's the master of the universe. The angels won't move, the trumpets won't be blown until God himself says, go and do this and this and this. We're seeing his majesty. We get good pictures of God in Revelation. We see his mercy, his sovereignty, his majesty, his wisdom, his love, his desire for people to come to him still. And we see his wrath. We see his judgment. We see his order, we see his wisdom, which tells us what a wonderful, mighty God we serve. Whew. Who knew? We could find all that in Revelation. Wow, God's good. But those 7 angels were standing there holding their trumpets. What shall be my trumpet today? We'll have an ink pen. Holding their trumpets. Standing there. I can just see them. I don't know what they're doing or what they look like, but I can just see them standing in front of God's throne in a line. Man, I'm going to have them like curved a little bit. I don't know why. And they've got their trumpets. They've been given their trumpets. They're standing at attention. And they're waiting for the Lord's instructions to go to battle. You know what it reminds me of? Runners at the starting line, in position, crouched down, ready to go, but not going yet. And then, in the midst of the throne room, and the 7 ready trumpet angels, comes another angel. And he's holding a censer, and the censer holds incense. Oh my gosh, did I just say incest? Y'all, where did that come from? I told you, one take. It is what it is. Gaga's got weird issues today. I'm so sorry. I can just hear y'all now say, what did you just say? Oh, Lord help me. Incense. Incense. Yes, incense in the censer. Oh, let me get myself back together, people. Oh, Lord help me. Oh. Okay. Don't you love these one takes? I have no bloopers. I put them all out there, blooper and all. Incense, which is the prayers of the saints. Once again, the prayers of the saints. I thought we'd already gone to heaven in the tribulation. In the rapture. Some have been saved, but they're still on the earth. Those 144 witnesses are busy, bringing Jesus to people and people to Jesus. So prayers are still going up. And the Lord is being filled with their prayers. And then this angel fills the censer with fire. With fire. This is like the starting pencil. I can't talk today. The starting gun of the race. And he takes that, the flaming censer, and he rears back, and he throws it to the earth. That's what it's going to look like in heaven. Looking down. What's it going to look like if you're the one on earth? Looking up. Can you imagine looking up and seeing this fire being, just slung, chunked, thrown directly at the earth? It's not like a comet going across the heavens, thrown directly at the earth. And not just thrown, taking millions of years to get here, and thousands and all this other stuff they talk about. It's It's ready for impact. Ready for impact. And it's like the start of a new, worse level of the tribulation. The tribulation is being cranked up a notch. Oh, the fear. Oh, the fear. The running, the hiding. And still not following. So many of them still not following. Still not turning toward Christ. Look at Zephaniah. Zephaniah is toward the end of the Old Testament. Zephaniah, chapter 1. Look at Zephaniah, chapter 1. There's Nahum, Habakkuk. Here's Zephaniah. Right here. Then comes Haggai. So, Zephaniah, chapter 1. Starting in verse 14. Through the end of chapter 1. All this is talking about the tribulation. But I want you to look in chapter 1, verse 16. And it says, the day of trumpet. Now we've seen these 7 angels holding their 7 trumpet. The day of trumpet and alarm against the fortified cities and against the high towers. I will bring distress upon men, and they will walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord. Their blood shall be poured out like dust, and their flesh like refuge. Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath. But the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy, for he will make speedy riddance of all those who dwell in the land. Verse 16 again, the day of the trumpet and alarm. Referring to this day that we're talking about. The angels and their trumpets. It's all in God's plan. All in God's plan. And then we have the first trumpet. After that, after he throws that fire down, here's what starts happening. The first trumpet sounds. And with that first trumpet comes hail and fire, and it will all be mixed with blood. Can you imagine seeing, I got a feeling it's not going to be this little nickel-sized hail we see around here. I got a feeling it's going to be huge. And it's going to be red with blood and fire. And that is going to burn up 1/3 of the trees and the grass on the earth. Now, whether it will be, here's the earth, and whether it'll be 1/3 all the trees and grass, or 1/3 sprinkled all about to where it equals 1/3 of the area of the earth, which is probably more likely, but I don't know. 1/3 sprinkled all about to where it equals 1/3 of the area of the earth, which is probably more likely, but I don't know. 1/3 sprinkled all about to where it equals 1/3 of the area of the earth, which is probably more likely, but I don't know. 1/3 sprinkled all about to where it equals 1/3 of the area of the earth, which is probably more likely, but I don't know. 1/3 sprinkled all about to where it equals 1/3 of the area of the earth, which is probably more likely, but I don't know. 1/3 sprinkled all about to where it equals 1/3 of the area of the earth, which is probably more likely, but I don't know. 1/3 sprinkled all about to where it equals 1/3 of the area of the earth, which is probably more likely, but I don't know. 1/3 sprinkled all about to where it equals 1/3 of the area of the earth, which is probably more likely, but I don't know. 1/3 sprinkled all about to where it equals 1/3 Now you say the trees and the grass. Well, okay. Hey, we're not talking just shade trees. We're not talking just Christmas trees. We're talking fruit trees, food supply. We're talking grass of the fields. We're talking cattle, sheep, all kinds of rabbits, whatever. Food consumption that will have nothing to eat and therefore die. And once the cattle die, a third of the cattle, a third of the chickens, a third of the sheep, a third. That's a third of the milk is gone. A third of the meat supply is gone. A third of the eggs are gone. There's so much more to it than just saying a third of the trees and a third of the grass were set fire and destroyed. Everything connects to everything. And when you lose a third of the wheat grass, wheat grows in the field. How many things is that going to affect? Something to think about. Horrific. Horrific. And then in chapter 8, in verse 8, well, chapter 8 too, the second trumpet sounds. And something as big as a mountain is going to be thrown into the sea. And at that point, a third of the sea is going to turn to blood. A third of the ocean lives are going to be turned dead, the fish. And a third of the ships on those seas are going to be destroyed. The cargo on those ships will be destroyed and the people. There goes some more food probably. And then in chapter 10, we see the third trumpet. And a huge burning star fell. And when it fell, 1/3 of the fresh drinking water, the rivers, the springs, where we get our water, gone. It will become wormwood. No more catfish. 1/3 of the catfish are gone. And the bluegill and whatever. And wormwood, it says it turns it into wormwood, which is bitter. And it makes the water undrinkable. So there will be a lot of thirst. So now we have hunger and thirst that this is going to affect. And then in verse 12, we see the fourth trumpet is sound. And at that point, 1/3 of the sun, moon, and stars will go dark. They won't show their light. 1/3 of them. 1/3 of the sun will be gone. And I just did some silly Gaga figuring. And I thought, well, just to make it easy for mathematics, if we have daylight from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., and 1/3 of that's gone, so it gets light at 7, it's going to get dark at 3 p.m. Do you know what happens in darkness? Wickedness, sinfulness. Something more to fear. Or is the sun just going to become a third less bright and the moon and the stars? Which means no more sunny, clear days. Just dimness, kind of living in the shadows. I don't know. It's going to be scary. It's going to get more dangerous. And people are going to get meaner and more evil because they're starving and dying of thirst. And then, verse 13, we get to peek into heaven again. And we have another quote. And I'm going to read that to you right quick. And I looked, this is John, and I heard an angel flying through the midst of heaven, saying with a loud voice, and here's the quote, "Woe, woe, woe to the inhabitants of the earth, because of the remaining blast of the trumpets of the three angels who are about to sound. Woe, woe, woe." Woe, woe, woe. Woe to them. It's been repeated 3 times. Woe, woe, woe. We've just kicked it up another notch. With losing a third of practically everything on the earth. Wasn't bad enough. And so many still have chosen not to come to the Lord. His mercy has kicked it up a notch. And remember, the whole time this is going on, we got 144,000 witnesses leading people to Christ. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Scary words, isn't it? You'll think about that. And I will see you next time. I love you.